Babylon is one of those cities that you hear about in legends, right? Think about it. It's a place full of mystery and wonder. Everyone has heard about its amazing stories, but not everyone knows exactly how it came to be. Its story is filled with greatness, and then suddenly it just fades away and disappears. How does a city that is so powerful and important just vanish like that?
Exactly. It makes you wonder what really happened to make Babylon fall. Was it a series of unfortunate events, bad luck, or something else? Maybe it was the result of a lot of different things happening over time. We're going to dig into Babylon's past and try to find out the truth behind its rise and fall. So, get ready to join us on this journey as we explore the history of Babylon.
Let's dive into the origins of Babylon, which is located by the Euphrates River, not too far from Baghdad. This place has an old history that goes back to before King Sargon of Akkad. You see, Sargon was a great ruler who did many things, but Babylon already existed before him. Some say Sargon built temples there, but it's hard to confirm. Anyway, Babylon at that time might have been just a small town by the river.
Yes, and things didn't stay small for long. Babylon's story took a new turn with the arrival of the Amorites. They were a group that came from the west. They played a big role in making Babylon grow. This was after the fall of the third dynasty of Ur. Then came Hammurabi, an Amorite king, who changed the game for Babylon. He made the city powerful and rich, bringing it into the spotlight of the ancient world.
So after Babylon started to rise, it was during the time of Hammurabi that it really became famous. Hammurabi was not just any ruler, he was a great king who made Babylon grow even more. He did many things to help his people and the city. One of the most important things he did was introduce a code of laws. These laws were written down and everyone could see them. This was a big deal because having laws helped keep order in the city. It showed that Babylon was becoming a modern place for that time.
Exactly. Hammurabi wasn't only about making rules, though. His big dream was to bring all the different parts of Mesopotamia together as one. With his efforts, he was able to unite the region, making Babylon the leading city of the ancient world. Other places looked to Babylon for guidance because it was seen as a powerful and organized place. Hammurabi's efforts made sure that Babylon became a center where culture, trade, and innovation flourished. It was a city where people wanted to live and work.
After Hammurabi's strong rule, Babylon faced some tough times. It first fell to a group known as the Hittites around 1595 BCE. This was unexpected, and they took over the city for a short time. After the Hittites, another group called the Kassites entered the scene. Their rule over Babylon lasted for a long period, around 400 years, but there's not much we know about them. The Kassites managed to keep the city stable, yet they didn't bring it to any new heights of glory.
Absolutely, the Kassites did maintain control, but their time wasn't marked by much change or growth. Then came the Assyrian period, which didn't sit well with the Babylonians. They faced problems with the Assyrian kings, especially with one named Sennacherib. His rule was harsh, and he actually destroyed Babylon at one point because they just couldn't see eye to eye on several matters. This caused much turmoil for the people living there.
Yes, Sennacherib was indeed a powerful ruler, but his actions weren't liked by many, even among his own people. It's said that his destruction of Babylon led to his own downfall because he was later assassinated. The idea is that his attacks on the city were seen as wrong both politically and spiritually. After his death, his son Esarhaddon took over and tried to make peace. He worked to rebuild Babylon and bring back its former charm, which was a positive turn.
Esarhaddon's efforts to restore Babylon were crucial. He knew that keeping Babylon stable and content was important for his own rule. By focusing on rebuilding, he helped to heal some of the wounds left by his father. Even though Babylon and the Assyrian rulers were still at odds sometimes, Esarhaddon's steps to restore the city played a role in making it strong once more. The city then entered a quieter period of recovery and renewal.
After dealing with so many different rulers coming and going, Babylon was about to enter a new golden age. This was under a strong leader named Nabopolassar, who was from the Chaldean tribe. He managed to unite Babylon once again, marking the start of what historians call the Neo-Babylonian Empire. This was a time when Babylon saw a lot of growth and change. Nabopolassar had set the stage, but the real star of this period was his son, Nebuchadnezzar II.
Indeed, Nebuchadnezzar II truly left his mark. Under his rule, from 604 to 561 BCE, Babylon became one of the most powerful cities across the entire region. He built amazing structures like the Ishtar Gate, which people still talk about today. You can imagine the colors and the grandeur of something like that. Besides, the famous Hanging Gardens, said to be one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world, were also built during his time. It's all very fascinating.
Yes, with these contributions, Nebuchadnezzar turned Babylon into a center of art, culture, and architecture. Can you imagine living in a city known around the world for its beauty and innovation? Not only did it have impressive buildings, but it was rich in culture too. The people took pride in their city, celebrating their achievements. This resulted in Babylon being at its peak during Nebuchadnezzar's reign, and it became a model for others.
Absolutely. The city was a beacon of progress. Unfortunately, even great empires come to an end, as we have seen. But during its peak, Babylon was a city of dreams, a city that people aspired to visit and learn from. Nebuchadnezzar's incredible leadership and determination to strengthen and beautify Babylon left a mark that is still remembered and celebrated. It was a time of cultural flowering, which inspired many future generations.
After Nebuchadnezzar II died, Babylon's leadership faced big challenges. It wasn't easy to decide who would be the next ruler, and this led to arguments and confusion. You know how important unity is during such times, but Babylon struggled with that. Nabonidus, who seized power, wasn't really related to the royal family, which made things even more complicated. His rule faced many problems, especially with religious matters, and it caused some unrest.
Yes, the religious issues were a big deal back then. Nabonidus didn't really follow the traditional religious duties, which upset many people, especially the priests who cared deeply about the gods of Babylon. Instead, Nabonidus focused on worshiping a different god, which wasn't well received. This made many Babylonians unhappy and created tension within the city. Such issues weakened the city's unity and made it vulnerable to outside forces.
Right, and that's when Cyrus the Great from Persia entered the scene. He was clever and saw the weaknesses in Babylon's leadership. With Babylon divided, Cyrus found an opportunity to take over without much resistance. It's said that he took the city with little to no fighting, entering peacefully during a festival. Cyrus showed respect to the Babylonian culture and the god Marduk, which won him even more favor among the people.
Cyrus's approach was both smart and kind. By respecting Babylon's traditions and people, he managed to keep the city stable under Persian rule. Unlike other conquerors, he didn't destroy the city. Instead, he allowed it to continue thriving as a cultural hub, which was rare during those times. His ability to preserve Babylon's culture while expanding his own empire showed why he was so successful as a ruler.
So, when Alexander the Great arrived in Babylon, it was a huge moment. His goal was to expand his empire, and taking Babylon was a big part of that plan. Alexander was fascinated by the city, especially its culture and architecture. However, his time in Babylon was not very long. He left soon to chase his dreams of conquering more lands, like the rest of the Persian Empire and even India.
Yes, Alexander was very ambitious, and while he was away, he left behind many changes. But what really shocked everyone was his sudden death in Babylon. It's said that he died after a night of heavy drinking, and this unexpected event threw everything into chaos. Alexander's generals started to fight over his empire, and there was no clear plan for who would rule next. This confusion deeply affected Babylon.
The infighting among Alexander's generals was tough on Babylon. These constant battles made it hard for the city to maintain its position. Eventually, many of its people were moved to a new city called Seleucia. This was said to have been the new capital, set up by the successors of Alexander's empire. It's a little sad when you think about it, because Babylon was such an important city for such a long time.
True, Babylon had a long and rich history, but after these events, it started to decline. The city was left almost empty, and it never went back to its old glory. Then, during the Sasanian Empire, there was a small revival for Babylon. It saw a brief period of being active again, but it was nothing like it used to be. People still remembered its past, but it was no longer the center of the world.
As we bring our journey through Babylon to a close, let's remember this city's rich and fascinating history. From its days as a small port to the heights of power under kings like Hammurabi and Nebuchadnezzar, Babylon has always intrigued historians and adventurers alike. There are still many mysteries left to uncover about this ancient city, keeping the interest alive for generations to come.
Thank you, dear listeners, for joining us on this exploration of Babylon's intriguing story. If you enjoyed our podcast, please support us by liking and commenting. Your feedback helps us bring more engaging content to you. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode. We look forward to having you with us on our next historical journey.